Hi guys, Dudes Youth here back with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel video, and it's been a while, but we're back. So for today, we're gonna talk about the upcoming January 2023 ban list and the new branded Despia deck list that you can play after the ban list. So before we check out the deck profile and some gameplay, let's take a look at the upcoming ban list. So for the January 2023 ban list, one of the cards that are hit or are at limited are Block Dragon, which has been a menace in Adamancipator decks. So finally having them at one will hurt their consistency, although this is one card that's okay being forbidden. Supreme King Dragon Starving Venom is an FTK enabler for Pendulum decks, so this is nice to see at one, although this is another card that could be banned and it's fine. Now, cards that are semi-limited is pretty big, so Card of Demise will hurt Runic, but not that much. Pot of Duality as well, but not that much because, they have space for way more draw spells and quick play, so, Runic is gonna dominate still. Aluber, Jester of Despia, this is gonna be the focus of our deck profile in a bit. Sky Striker Ace Kagari. So Sky Strikers now have another consistency boost. So after giving them 3 Widow Anchor to play with, now they have 2 Kagari that allows them to recycle their spells more often. Divine Wind of Mist Valley. I think this is another FTK card, but no one really cares to play it, so it's now a 2. Spellbook of Judgment now at 2. It's a draw power card for the spellbooks, and spellbooks don't really do that much yet, but this is a good consistency boost for them regardless, so pretty cool. Perplat Orphis Scorpio. This is gonna be interesting. I think this makes the deck. This doesn't really hit the deck. I think some people say this actually makes the deck better because people only really run it at 2, so really cool. Supreme King Dragon Darkworm. Pendulum card. Not sure what it really does, but hey, it's free and it's alive. Cards that will be unlimited and now at 3. So ABC Dragon Buster. So the ABC players can now enjoy and have a way better version of the deck because you can now play the boss monster at 3 copies. Wind up carry Zenmaity. This is gonna be crazy because Zenmaity is known to enable a lot of huge combo boards. So that's kind of dangerous for the meta if people find out how to play it. But then again, combo decks take a while to learn and eat up a lot of your game timer. So, not many people play that many combo. But the brave ones that do, they create cracked boards and win a lot of games. So that's one thing. Now, off with the ban list. And let's take a look at the branded Despia list I have here, post January 2023 ban list, and this is pretty much my Duelist Cup dual level max deck that I also use to reach Diamond 4 right now. And the only difference is from 3 Aluber Jester of Despia, and I'm at 41 cards, and I just cut one Aluber because you can only play it at 2. And that's pretty much the change of this deck. It's really funny that they didn't really hit branded, but Runic is a bit of a bigger problem when it got introduced. People forgot that branded Despia is an annoying deck or is a really tricky deck to play against, but I think they'd rather play against branded Despia now than Runic because of the banishing. But hey, branded Despia. So this deck list is I would say pretty consistent. One of my favorite decks to play in this current Master Duel format. It's a fusion deck that utilizes the really powerful branded engine that allows you to access Mirror Jade, powerful boss monster, allows you to go into interruptions on your opponent's turn with branded in red, and even branded banishment, one of the new cards that were introduced. So this is a really powerful card. But let's go with a card by card profile. So first off, 2 Despian Tragedy. So Despian Tragedy allows you to search a Despian monster, so you usually search Aluber or Ad Libitum here on this deck list. And if it's in the graveyard, you can banish it to recycle one of your branded spells. So you can recycle Branded Fusion, you can recycle Branded Lost, or even Banishment or Branded Red. Really cool. And of course, you can get Branded Opening back too with this card. So really powerful utility card. You can play this at 3. I think it's fine. But at 2, it's okay. Next up is 2 Edge Imp Chain for the Fright for package. So the Fright for package is 2 Edge Imp, 2 Polymerization, and 2 Fright for Patchwork. So Fright for Patchwork allows you to search Polymerization and Edge Imp Chain, so it gives you a free fusion spell and a free body to use for fusions. Edge Imp Chain, when sent to their graveyard, you can search Patchwork, so you can discard Patchwork to search discard Edge Imp to search a Patchwork and get Poly and another Edge Imp. So that's really useful in a lot of situations. Next up, we have Fairy Tale Snow. Fairy Tale Snow, you usually mill this off Foolish Burial or Albion. So you have a disruption that you can use during your opponent's turn to set any of their monsters face down. Really clutch. You can also use this for OTK. You can special summon this during your battle phase if you need extra damage just to push through and win the game. Always handy. Very handy card, very powerful card. Fallen of Albas, it's fine at 2 because you can recycle this using Rebellion. And yeah, really powerful. Also a super poly on legs, especially against most matchups. It can fuse against runic monsters, labyrinth monsters. It can whatever dark or light monster or even Link, Xyz, or Synchro monster they have, you can summon it and turn it into your own branded monsters, and you can even turn it into a Mirror Jade. So it's really awesome. Next up, Aluber Jester of Despia, the best starter in this deck. So this just allows you to search your branded cards. Usually search branded fusion, and it's really powerful and has a graveyard effect. It can negate one effect monster opponent controls when you special summon. When they special summon. So that's really cool. Next up, Tri Brigade Mercurier. Mercurier is a hand trap that allows you to negate a monster effect while you control a fusion monster that has Fallen Albaz as material. So if you have Mirror Jade, Rebellion, or Albion, this allows you to negate a monster effect on field. Usually you have a Mirror Jade for this, and it allows you to just negate and do some nice stuff. And it also has an effect where if it's banished, you can search Albaz or mention a monster that or add a monster that mentions Fallen Valbaz. So really cool. So you can get also Spring and Skit also works as like an Aluber or an extender, so allows you to search branded fusion, branded loss, allows you to search branded cards the same way as Aluber, but at the cost of you have to shuffle one card back to your deck. Shadal Beast, we're playing this for the Winda package. And when it gets sent to the graveyard, you have a free draw one card, which is always great for this deck, especially that it's very consistent and you can draw into a lot of your important tech cards here or even more branded spells. Albion the Shrouded Dragon is mostly used for reshuffling. I usually use this to send branded opening to the graveyard for protection and use the other card that it draws back sometimes, so it's really handy. Ad libitum is really powerful because if it's used as fusion material, you can revive any of the fusion monsters in the graveyard or banished. So usually use this with branded in red to revive a Mirror Jade. So really powerful. To explain the Fright for Patchwork package, Foolish Burial is used for either Despian Tragedy to search Aluber, or you can also use it to mill Fairy Tale Snow so you have extra disruption. Next up, we have 3 branded fusion, so this just enables your fusion cards, best card in the deck. So just allows you to go into your powerful fusion monsters to Rebellion, to Mirror Jade, so even the Despian monsters allow you to just combo off like crazy. Branded Lost allows you to add a card, a Fallen of Albas card, or a card that mentions Fallen of Albas from your deck to your hand after a fusion summon. It also protects your fusion summoning, so it won't be negated except by Ash. So that's really cool. Super Polymerization, a board breaker that just allows you to win mirror matches against branded or even beat other decks that have lighter darks or extra deck monsters. So it's really powerful disruption. And your opponent cannot respond to Super Poly, so it's really powerful. 2 Called by the Grave for anti-hand traps. 1 Crossout Designator to kill hand traps and even beat mirror matches, so really powerful. 2 Branded Opening to search Aluber and to dump a card in the graveyard, so you know, you can do that, and really has a great protection effect where you can banish this from your graveyard to protect your fusion monsters from destruction. Always great. Branded in red, so you can disrupt on your opponent's turn, bring out a Chimera, and wreak havoc on their board. 2 Infinite Impermanence, because this is a really great hand trap to have right now and just stops a lot of decks and negates a lot of plays. You can run this at 3 as well if you want to go 41, but this is pretty cool already. Branded Banishment works like a Super Poly, but kind of slower, so you can target 1 Despia monster, revive it on your field, and fusion summon using either materials from the field, so that's really powerful. And for the extra deck, Super Poly targets Mud Dragon, Starving Venom, so just for generic targets for Super Poly, so you just want to wipe your opponent's field. You can even use Dragostapelia for that. You also have El Shaddai Winda, so this is just for locking your opponent to 1 special summon just to slow them down. Pretty much a floodgate on legs, so pretty powerful. Dragostapelia for a face-up negate. Albion, you usually use Albion to either send Fairytale Snow when you summon this, or you just send Albion to the graveyard using Mirror Jade's effect, so you can search any of your branded spells. So either way. Despite Curtis allows you to just reduce the attack of your opponent's monsters, except for level 8 or higher fusion. So can really be great in a pinch. Masquerade the Blazing Dragon is a burn card, so 600 life points per card activation. And if you have 2, that's 1,200, and you're just annoying your opponent to death. Mirror Jade is a card that banishes, so really powerful. 2 Mirror Jade is great. So you have a free banish, and if this card gets destroyed or removed from the field, it has an end phase or a Geki which wipes out your opponent's board. Lubellion is your main starter here when you use Branded Fusion because it enables you to go into Mirror Jade, just set up your play, set up your board going first or even second. Really, really wonderful. Guardian Chimera is your main branded in red summon because you can pop cards and draw 2 with this, or pop 2, draw 1 depending on the materials you use on hand or field. Really handy. And if you use Polymerization on this, well, your opponent cannot target this card, so that's an extra bonus when you're using the Fright for package. Lastly, Despia and Proscanyon. You can use this as a Super Poly target in mirror matches, or you can just use this to screw up your opponent because you can steal a monster in your opponent's graveyard or even banish it. So, really handy, and you know, it has a really cool effect. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack or defense. So, it's a good card to win games by OTKing sometimes. Really handy. Keep that in mind. So that's a deck list. That's pretty quick. Now we go to do a quick rundown of the replays. So the replays are pretty simple, and I'll show you a few mirror matches, and I'll show you a couple of plays against some of the new decks. Unfortunately, I don't have a runic replay to show, but either way, I think this covers up most of the matchups. So first off, I'm showing you a mirror match and how it works against the meta. So my opponent decides to pass turn. I think they have a lot of hand traps, so I just try to start my plays here. Infinite Impermanence, so I just counter their Maxi here. Very simple. And let's slow down a bit, so I got my Branded Fusion. So Branded Fusion here, I'm sending Tragedy and Albaz. And I'm using Rebellion to summon Mirror Jade, and then Tragedy to search Ad Libitum. So for this one, I'm going to attack with Aluber and Mirror Jade. Since I have Branded in red, I can hold my Banish for my opponent's turn. So they're playing in a mirror match, so they finally decided to do their Branded Despia play, so it's really tricky. And then they enable their Branded Fusion, which I can't really stop. So they're gonna go into Mirror Jade quickly here. And I respond by banishing their Mirror Jade, which they banish mine too. And then I go Branded in red, but they have Crossout to negate my own Branded in red. So basically we clear the field. And I set Branded Banishment, my opponent also sets Branded Banishment, so really interesting mirror match here. So I just recycle Branded in red just in case. So I go Polymerization here and go into Rebellion, so I can go into another Mirror Jade. I have Drago's Tapelia, so I just go into Battle Phase after this, I think. I wanted to bait their banishment, but you know, they have the jump on me here. But then I use my own banishment, so I turn them into a Masquerade. And then I get Branded in red because I am gonna summon another Masquerade. And my opponent just scoops from there. It's a really handy mirror match there. Really cool. Let's look at another mirror match. This one is in a tournament that I was playing where I won with Branded Despia, and it's really cool. So this hand is pretty nice. So I'm going second here, so they go with their usual Rebellion Mirror Jade play. Really handy. And they have Branded Opening to protect their own cards. So going with Mirror Jade is pretty quick, and they have Branded. They have Aluber, so they can just Branded in red and set a call by, which is really powerful. So I'm going with my own opening here, so I can search my Ad Libitum. There we go. And I search Branded Banishment. And I go into Albaz to bait their Mirror Jade. And I go Branded Fusion to Rebellion. And then Shadow Beast. And then they use Branded in red to target Tragedy, and I'm saving my call by just for that play. So I wreck them there, stop them for a bit. Now I can go Mirror Jade. And I can just banish the Aluber. And I can stop this Albion end phase play from them, but then they have a call by, so really painful. But hey, I have Branded in red and banishment set, so that's pretty neat, right? But then again, they have a Harpy's Feather Duster, so I can't really do much plays there. So all I can do here is a Drago's Tapelia. And use Aluber to search a branded fusion, I think. There we go. And revive Mirror Jade with Ad Libitum. And now they're going to another Rebellion. Discard Dramaturge. So I'm gonna negate that, but then they used Comedy, which I forgot is a pretty neat effect. Negate dodging card, so really handy. So I Mirror Jade here to banish the Drago. But then again, they have branded in red. So they're gonna Guardian Chimera me here. So they're gonna draw 2, pop 1. And then they're gonna get Dramaturge back. But hey, I got the branded Lost, which is pretty cool. So I'm gonna activate that. I'm gonna send another branded opening back to the graveyard. I set branded banishment back, so for more follow-up. And I go into Mirror Jade and add Tri-Brigade Mercurier for a negate, which I'm able to use here. So my opponent, and I can't really do much end phase, so I just set up my play here. So I'm gonna go Tragedy Revive, turn this card into a Proskenya, and I made a misplay here. I think it's gonna show here. So I took another Mirror Jade. I don't think I can do that, so that's fine. Should have taken a different monster. So I negate the Ash here. So this is pretty much game already. And I go Winda, so this is pretty much OTK right now. So I go for Proskenyan for game, and that's it. Alright, that's pretty much the replays against the mirror matches. Next up we have a pretty spicy play against Tri-Brigade Scareclaw. So this is just showing you how to lock your opponent down with something like Winda and just seal the game. It's pretty much overkill here, but hey, it's worth showing. So my opponent has Maxi here, so I can't really extend too much and go beyond my usual combo. So I just go with the safe Mirror Jade pass combo with branded in red set, even though it's not the best play sometimes. But at least I know I can survive for a turn. So I think my main mistake my opponent made here is they got my Maxi through in this play, and they were saving Called by the Grave for my branded in red play. So that allowed me to just get a ton of follow-up. So they go Lightheart here, and I drew an Ash, which hampers their play even more. I ashed the Kit, so just to prevent them from extending. So they just stopped here, and it wasn't a really good board. They use Lancia, but I am able to respond by banishing the Fergit first. And this is just me setting up my board. So there we go. I just put a Tragedy, Fright for Patchwork. I'm just adding more cards to my hand, so I wanted to win this game. So I go Guardian Chimera here. I made a lucky guess and hit the middle card here, which apparently is Tri-Brigade Revolt, which is a nasty resolve. So I'm just going Rebellion here. discard Edge Imp, draw from Shadow Beast, and I just summon Winda here because I didn't want my opponent to summon even more. And at this point, I'm just holding them off. And at draw phase, standby phase, I summon Masquerade to just completely stun them on the field, and they scoop. So that's pretty cool. So that's pretty neat. And that's 3 replays so far, and I guess we can show you a few more. So let's go with this one against Weather Painter. So Weather Painter, I think this is a way to show you how Winda is really great against a lot of decks. And Winda prevents special summoning, locking your opponent from it. So really handy. Although keep in mind, when you're playing Winda, Branded Banishment can't really work because Branded Banishment is 2 special summons. So that's one thing. It kills your Branded Banishment play on your end. So we're going with a typical Branded Despia, and then I get hit by Maxi. Always a pain. But hey, we can play through this. So I just send Branded Opening for protection. Get Ad Libitum, go into Mirror Jade, the usual play. Banish Aluber so I can get branded in red. So I even Foolish Snow for Disruption, so that's really neat. And then we just end turn and wait for and my opponent has a Harpy Feather Duster, so that's really nasty. So what I do here is I just go Drago Stapelia so I can have an extra negate. And I can still revive my Mirror Jade. But then I gave them more cards. But hey, they're playing Weather Painters, so I don't really know what they do, but they disrupt and they have a few negates and have a big boss monster ring. So they just set their back row, they summon Weather Painter Rainbow, and then they revive their trap cards, so really handy. They even negate my Mirror Jade, but I protect my Mirror Jade from getting destroyed. So I went Branded Banishment here because I just wanted to get away. I activated Maxi early because I wanted to get draws off their Weather Painters. And then they negate my... They dodge my Banish, which is pretty insane. And I'm going for Winda here because I don't want it to special summon more than once. So I get a draw and a search here. So I just send Albion the Shrouded for a different card draw. I go Branded Lost. So I just go Battle Phase here. And they pretty much use their only special summon here. But then they remove my Winda, which is okay, because I can just go into Tragedy, summon Masquerade during battle phase, and actually attack per game, which is really weird. Really weird duel, but it was really fun. That's how much advantage you can make with Banishment and even Wind on your side, so really cool. And last replay is against Dynamorphia with the new Rex term support. So it's a skill drain on legs, for the most part. But then again, we have some tools to beat it over, so you know, as I can show you here. So they start with Theresia searching Frenzy, which is crazy. I activate Patchwork, but then they go Frenzy. They go Domain, so they're gonna summon Rexterm and Cantrogena in the sequence, so really annoying, but really powerful. So basically they're shutting down my monsters here. So I went Aluber to get Branded Fusion, but I start off my play with Polymerization and hit Guardian Chimera. So I just do this for the searches. But then they fusion summon again with Kent, so that's really crazy. So I beat over Rexterm just to allow me to get some plays going on main phase 2. So I go with my usual Branded Fusion play, which gets negated. Painful, but we're still in the game. And they have another summon there, so they burn me for 500, which isn't really painful. It's actually fine. So I'm going Banishment here and make Masquerade so I can search using Tragedy, but yeah, there we go. We're gonna search another Aluber. So they have another Theresia, so they're gonna set an alert. They set 5 and pass, so really crazy. They hit Solemn Judgment on my Aluber, but hey, we still have plays, and they're gonna maxi me for my Branded in Red summon. They have Zark, and they have Rexterm. So I decided to just go for a Masquerade here, even though it doesn't work. And I go for another Masquerade just for extra bodies, but then I realized that they can't really stop my Guardian Chimera, and I just punched through the Rexter. Really funny duel, but you know, it goes to show you how Branded Despia can play through against decks like Dynamorphia and even Labyrinth. So whatever light dark deck can really, you can really have a good time against them with the help of Branded Despia. So this is my Branded Despia deck list, and it's really powerful. It's really consistent. I like this deck a lot. It's a meta deck, sure, but it's a really consistent meta deck that has a lot of mid-range interruptions that allow you to do plays during your opponent's turn and help you win matches. And you can easily get to diamond with this deck. So that's one thing. If you have any more recommendations on what other Branded Despia cards you can run on this deck, you can leave it on the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, you can leave a like, you can share this. You can even subscribe if you're a fan of Master Duel and want to see more Master Duel content. You can check out my previous videos. I recently posted a budget meta decks list that allows you to play Master Duel on a budget and still do well in ranked. Or you can check out my Branded Cyber Dragon replays if you want to try a different way of playing the branded cards. So, but for now, that's it for this video, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. So goodbye, guys.